Hello, this is the luckiest maths teacher in the world. Thank you so much for tuning into this video in which we'll go through everything you need to know about multiplying and dividing direct numbers. So fortunately, it's really easy. You just multiply or divide the numbers as normal, and then you use these rules here. So 2 positives make a positive, 2 negatives make a positive, 1 positive and 1 negative make a negative. So these rules look similar to what we were doing when we were adding and subtracting. The difference is, though, when we were adding or subtracting, these symbols needed to be next to each other. So for example, if we were subtracting a negative and we had 2 negatives next to each other, they made a positive, right? Here, when I say they equal a positive or equal a negative, I'm talking about the answer. If you multiply or divide 2 positives together, the answer is positive. If you multiply or divide 2 negative numbers together, you get a positive. If you multiply or divide 2 numbers and one of them's negative and one's positive, then the answer is negative. So let's say I had, for example, minus 7 times 5. So what I do is I forget about the negatives. I just do 7 times 5 at the moment, and that equals 35. So then I go to my rules. Well, I can see that only one of the numbers was negative. I have a negative times a positive, so my answer should be negative. So the answer will be minus 35. So that's what we do. We just multiply, divide the numbers together, and then decide whether our answer is positive or negative. So let's say I had minus 9 times minus 8. Sometimes you'll see the negative numbers in brackets. That actually doesn't change the answer at all. So what we do is we just go 9 times 8, which is 72. And now we decide should our answer be positive or negative. Well, we have 2 negatives multiplied together, so the answer is a positive. So it's the same when we're doing division, and note that this fraction line here means divide. So this is saying minus 36 divided by minus 4. So we do the same thing. We just do the numbers without paying attention to the negatives. So 36 divided by 4 is 9. And because I have a negative divide a negative, the answer is positive. So I'm done. So how would I do something like this? Minus 7 times minus 4 times minus 3. Well, what I would do is I would do the first 2 separately, get my answer, and then times by the third one. So to do minus 7 times minus 4, I'm just going to go 7 times 4, which is 28. Times a negative, my answer is positive. So minus 7 times minus 4 is positive 28. So now I'm just going to times that by negative 3. So again, 28 times 3, I'm just going to do the whole numbers by themselves. 28 times 3 is 84, but this time I was multiplying a positive and a negative. So my answer should be negative. Final answer is minus 84. So how would I do something like this? Minus 3 squared. Well, remember when you square something, you're actually multiplying it by itself. So this would be minus 3 multiplied by itself. Minus 3 times minus 3, and that, of course, gives you positive 9. 3 times 3 is 9, and my answer is positive because it was a negative times a negative. So it turns out whenever you square a negative number, the answer you get is actually positive. Alright, thank you so much for tuning into this video. This has been the luckiest maths teacher in the world. Have a great day.